everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Reviews, Commentary, and Opinions. My name is Lorenzo Marchessi, and everything you hear here is from me. I'm giving you my point of view, or my opinion, or my review, or my commentary. So this is personal, and today's subject is one of my favorite new syndicated and or online streaming series called The Mandalorian. As you know, it's very popular, including one of its fictional characters called the Child, otherwise known as colloquially the Baby Yoda. But it's a wonderful show. And right off the bat, I'm going to tell you it's well written, well produced, visually stimulating. It doesn't have a lot of dialogue and exposition, but every scene, every moment, every camera angle tells a story in itself. It was created by Jon Favreau. For those of you who don't know, he basically launched the Marvel Universe with the very first movie, Iron Man, helping produce, co-write, and of course he directed it, as well as kind of guiding the Marvel Universe to the various films that we have seen today. And as you know, Marvel seems to know what they're doing. They focus on story, character, and content, and as a result, wonderful films, all the Marvel superheroes. With the exception maybe of the ending, but that's another story, how they close the series. Jon Favreau is a genius. He's a chef too, by the way, if you didn't know. He has a show called Chef on Netflix, but just incredible with the writing. Now, apparently, George Lucas, Kathleen Kennedy, and that regime hired him to produce this series. Well, not only did he produce it, he wrote most of the episodes, if not all, with other people, Dave Filoni, who's also a co-producer, Rick, I hope I say this properly, Famuyiwa, and Christopher Yost. These are the series writers for Series 1. And as you know, it just launched off on the Disney Plus channel, which was kind of their signatory project that was used to promote it, since Disney did buy out the Lucasfilm organization for the everything Star Wars universe. Couple little things I want to let you know behind the scenes. The directors included Dave Filoni, who's one of the co-executive producers / writers, who helped with Jon Favreau guide the series to where it is today. And the new season is coming very shortly, season 2. Each episode was directed by, if not Dave himself, Rick, again, Famuyiwa, sorry if I mispronounced that, Deborah Chow, Bryce Dallas Howard, that name sounds familiar to you. He's the daughter of actor and more famously known as director Ron Howard. Also, you may know her on screen as in the Jurassic World movies. In fact, the third one is on its way soon. As well as, oh boy, I hope I say this, Taika Waititi. Now, he's a very funny guy. He directed the Thor Ran something, I don't know. Very, very funny guy, off screen and on screen. He's also one of the voices in the Mandalorian series, as well as on-camera character in the Thor film itself, as well as directing that film, the Thor movie. Well, other behind the scenes, I want to real quick go, the amazing composer Ludwig Göransson. Okay, sorry guys if I mispronounce your names, please forgive me. Cinematography is amazing. It's a wonderfully beautiful show to watch, to look at. Even the still shots are artistry beyond belief, including the visual effects and the huge TV screen backgrounds they created that actually move with the actors. But that's a whole nother story. Cinematography by Grieg Fraser and Barry, I'm going to say Iodine, is what it looks like. The budget for the entire series for season 1 was $100 million. There was only 10 episodes, so basically $10 million an episode. Probably some less, some more, depending on what they had to do. The series itself stars Pedro Pascal. Now, he plays Din Djarin, or as the title of the series says, The Mandalorian. Other regular cast members includes something that is either puppeteered or CG'd, and that is the most popular character on the series, the Child, or Baby Yoda. He's 50 years old. He's kind of equivalent to a puppy or a kitten, And the way they designed his face, the way they designed his ears, it's basically the Yoda species from the Star Wars feature films canon, but what a baby Yoda version would look like if Yoda were a child. Of course, a child in this case is 50 years old, which apparently is the beginning of its life. So obviously, Yoda's over 900 years old. We can see they definitely have a long lifespan. So with that, I want to share some images with you. This is the season 1 logo when they started the show. Lot of mystery, a lot of fun. I like the panoramic view. It's probably Tatooine in the background, which is where a lot of the series goes to, as well as other planets and spaceships. But let's jump to, yes, there's Jon Favreau. He's the guy who started. He was the guy who was asked to basically create this universe, this section of the universe in the Star Wars canon. And of course, that's George Lucas, who continually gives John many praises, loves what he's done with the show, and has let him run it. As I will explain later, there's certain things that have come up in season 2, which even George, bowed to the creator of the series, John, to take care of. This is Pedro Pascal, and I forget the actor's name, but the pilot episode, basically, the Mandalorian is a bounty hunter. So he gets these chips, identity discs, or whatever they're called, and he's paid to bring people to whoever wants them. And on the condition they could be dead or alive, which I always think is fun. Love the Mandalorian costume. This is early on in the series where he gets a little shinier toward the end, but it's amazing to see the growth. And keep in mind, Pedro Pascal only takes off his helmet once in the entire 10 episodes, and that's the lure of the Mandalorian culture. It's not a species or a race, it's a culture. There are humanoids in them, and you get to see it in one. And the reason he takes it off is because he can't show it to other humans or any other living things. He actually has to take it off to get some medical help, but he takes it off in front of a droid, and we'll get into that a little later. This is a wonderful little episode where he meets this Ugnaught. Now, an Ugnaught is one of those creatures, if you remember Empire Strikes Back. They actually rip C-3PO apart, which ends up having C-3PO on the back of Chewbacca in the Empire Strikes Back on Lando Calrissian's City in the Sky. So it was very, Bespin was the City in the Sky. It was very cool. Now, the voice of this character is Nick Nolte, but the actor inside happens to be Misty Rosas. She's a performer, an actress, very good in pantomime as well as emoting. She's got this, 40-pound mechanical mask on her that, the eyes and the mouth are moved by technicians, radio controlled. But she has to basically give the emote through her eyes and the mouth while doing the dialogue. And then it's overdubbed by Nick Nolte, another actor. Just want to give you a little heads up. Some of the performers in here, Carl Weathers, if you remember from the Rocky series, plays Grief Karga. He's an ex-magistrate and a leader of the Bounty Hunter Guild, which is the people that actually give assignments to bounty hunters to go get whoever they need. He's also the one that asks Mando to go get the valuable asset, which happens to be the child, or Baby Yoda. Werner Herzog is an incredible actor. He's the guy who wants Baby Yoda, or the child, and hires Carl to do this. Wonderful character. We see him in very short scenes in a couple episodes, but a lot of poignancy in terms of motivating the Mandalorian to what he's doing. Let's move on to... This is a great episode. You remember the Sandcrawlers in the original Star Wars film, 1977. The Jawas on Tatooine have these big, huge ships that they just basically go around scavenging anything, robots, droids, ships. And they basically, in this episode, take Mando's ship apart. He's not very happy about it and goes after it. the trouble that ensues there is hysterical, especially since you're seeing these little tiny Jawas. He does get his ship back, but you have to see how. This is an incredible actress. I don't know if you remember Amy, I want to make sure I got it right here, Amy Sedaris, and this character here is Pele Mato, and she is a mechanic who manages a spaceport on Tatooine, and in the process kind of accidentally finds Baby Yoda, realizes Baby needs a little bit of attention, maybe food, lunch, whatever, and she has these funny little droids as her sidekicks, and she basically fixed Mando's ship after having a little battle or whatever while he goes off on a mission. But wonderful actress, hysterical scene. She's sharp, she's witty, she's got a lot of spunk into her. Now this character, next to Baby Yoda, has become probably the second most popular. And if you look on Twitter, her Twitter account, she basically loves this series. It's, okay, I want to say her name properly. It is Gina Carano. She plays Cara Dune. She's a former rebel shock trooper turned mercenary who's now destroyed planet. She's from Alderaan. We all know Alderaan was the first planet that was destroyed thanks to Grand Moff Tarkin and Darth Vader on the original Star Wars film. She actually fought in the Galactic Civil Wars for the Rebel Alliance. What an amazing actress. Probably one of the most funniest scenes in the series is when she first meets Mando, and they have this little bit of competition about what planet they want to stay on. So they end up fighting, and the fight ends in a very hysterical scene where the two of them are on the ground pointing each other's guns at each other's heads. And in between, the shot was so cleverly directed that you see them shooting, pointing the guns at each other's head. And in between the shot is basically Baby Yoda watching them fight, two grown adults fighting for absolutely no reason while he's drinking his soup. It's hysterical. The shot lasts maybe 3 seconds, but it will have you laughing for like 3 months because it's so well written, so well directed, so well produced, and I can't say enough about that entire process. And she's a great companion for Mando. She comes back in a couple episodes. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of her in season 2. This is I hope I say this right, a Twi'lek. Let me find. Let's see. She is a Twi'lek. I said it properly. That's is Ismael Cruz Cordova. She plays Quinn, Twi'lek, whose brother Ixion. Oh boy, I hope I say these names right. She has a real combative past with Mando, and it's hysterical to watch them, kind of bicker. And she gets her just desserts when we finally end up, this particular episode where they're on a mission and kind of gets twisted, and then Mando twists it right back at everybody. Very, very cool. This is another great episode. Basically, I don't want to say this, an overzealous, a little, let's say, ambitious, young wannabe bounty hunter kind of runs into Mando and kind of says, we need to go find this particular person. It's played by Jake Canavelli, and the character's Toro Calican, a fledgling bounty hunter looking to join the Bounty Hunters Guild by capturing this character, Fennec Shand. And I must say, Fennec Shand is played by Ming-Na Wen. Oh my God, she's an assassin, and she's dark, and she's gritty, and they have this great fight sequence with Mando and Toro, and it's another great episode. Have I mentioned I really like this series? Can you tell? Also, this is one of the opening episodes where Mando has to fight these basically scavengers. He's out to do some searching, and what's interesting is the characters are live, live and brilliant, and have a lot of motivation and so on and so forth. But a lot of these characters are masked, and you. With all that, with all the special effects and everything that you're seeing, it's still, the story really comes through, and the compassion and the heart and even Baby Yoda, the child, you can see the child moving toward liking this guy, this Mando, who basically was hired to bring him back to have experiments done on him, killed, whatever. And as a result, Mando starts finding the affection back toward the child. It's amazing. Like I said, not a lot of dialogue. You're not going to be overwhelmed with information, and you don't have to know the Star Wars canon to watch this series. And it's kind of like a Clint Eastwood Western, dirty Western, but with story and different places and obviously different creatures and characters, but it's just so enveloping. One of my favorite, that's Carl Weathers there. He's the one that gives the assignment. This is actually one of the last scenes in the very last episode. And wonderful. It's funny. It's charming. It's heartbreaking because one of the characters is a droid that we again first see in The Empire Strikes Back. I'm going to make sure I say that right. He plays the character of IG-11. And funny enough, it's the voice is Taka Waititi, the director, writer, actor who I mentioned before doing the Avengers movies. But he is a bounty hunter droid, also looking for the child. And through an ironic situation, Mando and the robot end up working together, but with a very different ending than I think ID-11 was expecting. Wonderful, wonderful sequence as well. Let's see. Clancy Brown also makes an appearance in the series as Berg. He's a large, Devaronian, which is the creatures, if you remember the original Star Wars, in the bar, the cantina, it looked like a devil, basically. These horns and everything. Great character in that episode where all these people are trying to do this mission on this Imperial thing, and it goes awry, and it's so much fun. Let's see. I mentioned Amy and so on and so forth. Okay. Let's check out. Okay. There's the real star of the show. Yes, Pedro Pascal is the person who was hired to play the lead, the Mandalorian. But as soon as everyone saw this little guy, the child, you can't help but just fall in love with him. The eyes, the ears, the sentimentality, the coos. He makes these coos. And I will let you know he does have the power of the Force. Although apparently in this stage, nobody knows what species he is, where he's from, or what the Force is, ideally. The Jedi are this feared thing, but it's kind of fun how they're unraveling it very slowly. And this is, again, the child on Mando's ship. It's hysterical because he plays with the equipment, pushes buttons he's not supposed to, and basically a child. He's exploring and learning and wants to have fun. And there's one hysterical sequence where Mando tells the child, don't touch. And Mando goes on to fly on the ship, and you can see the child looking at him, looking at the button, looking at him, looking at the button, and then he kind of creeps his hand out and touches it. It's hysterical. Well written. Again, not a lot of dialogue, but volumes of information can be said with these beautiful sequences. There he is. I don't know quite if he's about to reach out his hand or grabbing the little Mandalorian pendant that he gives him, but it's look at how adorable. Look at those eyes. Come on. There he is again, hand out using the Force. So I can't say enough about this series in terms of how it's impacted basically the world. There he is actually using the Force. I believe this is when he's protecting Mando, when he thinks Gina's character is hurting him. They're doing an arm wrestling scene where she's kind of winning a little bit, and the Baby Yoda, the child, sees this and thinks this is an attack on the Mandalorian, and of course he pulls out the Force to stop her, and then of course the Mandalorian stops him from saying, no, she's not. We're playing, whatever. This is a wonderful, one of my favorite episodes where they go to a planet, they find a mother and a daughter and basically a community that's being attacked by these ravage imperial people, and kind of turns him around, teaches him how to shoot, and in the process, this little guy endures to the kids and even the daughter of this one lady that kind of falls for Mando, which is fun. There he is. This is one of those sequences where he tells him, pay attention, stay on the ship, I'll be right back. As he opens his door, he turns to his side, and there's the child just standing next to him. Again, totally not listening. But being a kid, it's not an evil or negative kind of thing. There's the cast out of costume, Carl Weathers, Pedro Pascal, and Gina. Wonderful cast, wonderful, really good casting choices in terms of the production. Season 1 is awesome. It's on Disney Plus. Make sure you watch it. Though I can't talk about the writing enough. Jon Favreau is a genius. And I want to give you a little bit of, if you haven't heard it, there's a lot of rumors going around. Season 2 has been completed, and they had to do somewhat of a re-editing and a little bit of story changes, because rumors have it that Pedro Pascal became a problem because he was quote unquote, these are all rumors, so I've heard them from different sources. You can look them on YouTube, look on the web. There's all kinds of articles on this, so I'm not reporting anything that already hasn't been reported or rumored. But apparently in season 2, Pedro became a problem because he was a little disappointed that his character took off his mask only once in the entire 10 episodes, and felt that as an actor, his range of emotion, his performance, all that can't be seen because he's basically in a bucket over his head. And from an acting standpoint, I get that, but my personal opinion is he signed on to do a character that, as a culture, does not take off their helmet. If they do, they are out of the Mandalorian society, in terms of, because this is their code, this is their code of honor kind of situation. And he signed on to that, and I'm sure it wasn't just a one season contract. Was one season, see how it goes, prepared to do another. Well, apparently he didn't like that. Took it to Jon Favreau and Kevin, the creators, producers, writers, and they said, no, this is the way it's going to be. Rumor has it he went to George Lucas, and I mentioned earlier, George kind of bowed it back to it's John and Kevin's show. There's nothing I can do about it. And rumor has it he even went to Kathleen Kennedy, who at that point, I don't know if you've heard the Star Wars universe is basically collapsing in on itself because of Kennedy's choices and some of the decisions they made on Star Wars 7, 8, and 9. But that's a whole different kind of commentary story. But as a result, he was asked to leave the set because he became difficult, taking off his helmet when he shouldn't, being, problem on set and so on and so forth. Again, this is all on the internet. So, but what I did want to tell you, there are some rumors that aren't official yet because we haven't seen them in the trailers. The first trailer came out for The Mandalorian Season 2. And just to give you an amazing little sneak peek here, one of the big rumors has been that this guy here, Timothy Oliphant, is coming back to play Cobb Vanth, who's a former slave who acquired Boba Fett's Mandalorian armor. So basically, he's going to be another Mandalorian. The character was previously featured in Star Wars Aftermath trilogy's novels, so they're going to bring him back to, or bring him to life in terms of the canon. Now, here's another rumor that I'm looking forward to. This guy's Michael Biehn. You basically know him from almost every James Cameron film as the bad guy. Wonderful actor, incredibly wide range of different kinds of characters he's played, but he's also rumored to be coming back as a Mandalorian, which also is kind of exciting to see the dynamic that two opposing Mandalorians would have. Now, this is another more than a rumor. Apparently, she voiced, I want to make sure, this is Katie Sackhoff. You probably know her as well from the reboot of the series Battlestar Galactica. She played Starbuck, and the character of Katie Sattloff is coming back to recreate the voiceover role she did in the Clone Wars series and the Rebels series, which I thought was amazing because basically it'd be exciting to see the character in, I don't want to say 3D, but live action, I guess is the better term. I don't know if you remember a actor named, oh, if I say this right, Tamuera Morrison, I believe is how it's pronounced. And yes, that's he. He played Boba Fett in the Phantom Menace, episodes 1, 2, and 3. And as a result, he's coming back to play Boba Fett, which I thought was interesting because he was the father. He was the main clone that all the clones were made from. So him being the father of Boba Fett coming back as Boba Fett, I don't know if it's a story twist or just a casting choice. So I'm a little confused when that comes out. So hopefully someone else can correct that for me. But this is the big excitement. Roseanne Rosario is coming back to play Ahsoka, which in the Clone Wars played a major character. She was the Padawan of Anakin Skywalker. Wonderful character, very well written, and a perfect choice for the actress. I can't wait to see her in the makeup and so on and so forth. So that should be fun for the season 2. The whole concept of what they plan on doing for the future seems both exciting and totally interesting. So anyway, that's my take on The Mandalorian Season 1, giving you a little bit of teasers in Season 2. They've already talked about storylines being completed for Season 3 and 4. So we have a lot to look forward to. It's great to watch it on Disney Plus. No commercials, no nothing like that. Watch it at your leisure. If you're like me, you'll end up watching it more than times and have a great time. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this opinions, reviews, and commentary. I'm Lorenzo Marchessi. Remember, these are my commentaries and mine alone. I'm not speaking for any studio or anything like that. Be sure to subscribe. Please subscribe. I need some subscribers. It's very helpful if you do. But I also have some other shows. My Unboxing the Geek Authority. I show you new stuff as I get it and we see it for the first time. I have the Geek Authority Show, where I interview actors and writers and directors and producers and all kinds of fun people, conventioners, cosplayers. It's really cool. And I also have the Mysterious Chamber of Collectibles, the Geek Authorities. And that is where I pull out all my closets and boxes and show you some of the things I've been collecting and what has been out there and what is out there. So you might find yourself some fun stuff. Anyway, I appreciate you watching, and hopefully you watch the other shows. Don't forget to subscribe, like I said, and we will see you next time.